YouTubers, OneManSmoke here. Over here at the National Farm Machinery Show today. Meeting up with the Youngs. We got a couple thousand acres of corn. We want to harvest it. We want to use this machine right here, the North Star. They ain't playing around with this bad boy. So there's Brian Young right over there with his family. He's gonna take me on a kind of a tour here and see what's happening.
There'll be a tray of small plants right here.
Yeah, like a tray.
Someone will sit in this chair, pull them out of the tray, and drop them in these cups. Simple. The bottom of the turret is naked right here, so that once the cup gets over top of that, it's just going to drop straight down into the furrow. The shoe is going to create a channel in that loose soil, and then you can see the kicker from the back side. It's going to kick that plant back into the furrow, and then the packing wheel is going to bring the dirt in around.
150 a row. You got to change this part in here.
Mine has something over here that goes like this, but there's nothing to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, here. That's the timing gear there.
Yeah, that's the timing gear there. And on the back side will be a deal like this that goes and trips the water.
I think there's a piece over here on mine that goes around and doesn't do anything.
They got a bearing on it. Probably about that.
It's all about planting tobacco.
I don't know the model, but Dad's frame is made by Holland in the 50s. It's about this high off the ground.
Yeah.
We do landscaping with the front of it sometimes.
That's the low frame.
Yep, it's a low frame. And
he's got two of those units, they're not rubber tire.
When you hit the cylinder, the bar goes like this and the units go like that. No 1302.
So hopefully this planting season you'll see OneManSmoke out there seeing one of these in operation here. Alright, I just picked me up some Red Man chewing tobacco, some dip. You got a register over there at the spot, and get some free dip. That's what we do. OneManSmoke style out here. Comes in a can like that. Red Man, free dip. You gotta love it. That's what I'm talking about, man. In line to pick up some free skull over here. Get home and do some dipping, OneManSmoke style. See what over here, what they got here?
This is a hay rake.
Hay.
After you cut the hay and lay it it lays on the ground and it dries in the sun, then you got to gather it up into what's called a windrow. Just a line of hay. After you gather it up in a windrow, then you need to bale it. And this is a round baler, and it's going to basically just roll it up. And after it finishes rolling it up, this baler is equipped with net wrap. So this mesh is going to wrap around the outside of the bale. That's going to hold the bale together. And not only that, it's going to pack that outer layer real tight so that most of the water from the rain will run off. So now you can leave that bale outside and it'll stay relatively dry on the inside of the bale. You're going to lose a few inches around the outside. But they claim net wrap saves twice as much hay as putting string on the outside. Ready to put the head on, you'll lower the feeder house, drive up to the head, raise it up, and this will catch the head and pick it up, and then it'll latch when this comes down. So now you've got your head on, and they make different heads for different crops. That way a farmer can use this for multiple purposes. There is no tobacco head for this machine. The feeder house has an elevator. You can see some of the flighting in this elevator. It's going to move the material up into the heart of the combine. This combine is a rotary combine. You can see the concaves, which are basically grating around the edge. Inside the concaves is the cylinder. The cylinder is going to rotate. As it rotates, it's going to rake the grain against the grating. When it does, the grain's going to fall off. Most of the stalk and stem and unnecessary parts of the crop are going to go out the back. The grain is going to fall down into the separator, and there's a series of moving and shaking parts with various sized openings to sort the grain away from the bad stuff. All the bad stuff will be routed out the back end, and the grain will be deposited in the grain bin behind the operator.
It's a pretty good sized machine right here.
This machine has a cab, has GPS. GPS can be used to guide this machine if you have the right hardware and software. This machine can drive itself. Tractor towing, it's right up there. But we saw a revolution a few years ago. Instead of a farmer purchasing a pallet that contains 50-pound bags of seed, now the farmer can buy like this bulk bin full of seed. And there's some devices up the way here to unload that bulk bin of seed. It goes in the big yellow tank. And the big yellow tank has a pneumatic system to convey the seed through this black tube to each row unit. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Excess airflow out, seeds in.
Nice.
Check it out. Airbag. Adjustable down pressure. Look closer, you're going to see a lot of wiring because there's a massive control system in the cab. For example, if we're coming up to the end of the field and the end of the field's not straight, we might want those over there to start shutting off before these down here. And this machine's capable of doing that.
What?
It'll start closing them down, and then when we turn around and come back the other way, it'll start those first and keep them on in order. However we need it. So we don't waste anything.
Nice. John Deere.
Can you see that in that? So this little fluted gear here is adjustable. How much of it is exposed, and when it rotates, it picks up the seed and drops it down that tube. Same thing goes on in here.
Nice.
This is for alfalfa. This is for larger seed like soybeans or wheat. This machine is called a drill. It's basically a planter with row units that are closer together and less complicated. So a farmer will dump multiple bags of seed, and if it's larger seed, it'll go in the front box. Little bitty seed like alfalfa or clover will go in the rear box. If you want to plant them both together at the same time, it'll do that. Shut the lid. Take off.
All right, everybody, we're back from the show. Here's the take. 5 cans of dip. Dip was free. The show was free, but it was $6 to park your car. And I think all the free dip offset that price. So pretty nice. It was great hanging out with Brian Young. This guy is extremely knowledgeable about all the machinery there. I mean, I was really impressed. Coming up next week on the OneManSmoke show is going to be a tobacco auction with TrimbleTobacco. So stay tuned. Peace and sweet smoke.